Dear students, in our today's class, we shall start about introduction to thermodynamics. In this session, we shall explain different basic concepts which we come across in thermodynamics. So, what is meant by thermodynamics? What is the importance in studying the thermodynamics? Means, and all those things we shall across in our series of lectures in this unit. So, but first of all, let us see what is meant by thermodynamics. Thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is a branch of physics that deals with the conversion of heat into work and vice versa, work into heat. So, it gives interrelationship between the heat and work, how much work is converted into heat and so on. Therefore, it is a branch of physics. It deals with the conversion of heat into work and vice versa. That means work into heat. Because in our first year classes you know about work and heat also. Now let us define heat. What is meant by heat? Heat is a form of energy. Generally, this vague definition will be given by most of the students. What is meant by light? Light is a form of energy. What is meant by sound? Sound is a form of energy. So, all these are forms of energies. Then, what type of this energy? So, heat is also a form of energy. So, what does it indicate? What does it specifically explain? Means, heat is a form of energy in transit. Heat is a form of energy in transit. That means the heat of a body flows from one body to another body. Heat that flows, transmit means that always flows from one body to another body. How the heat flows? The heat always flows from a hot body to a cold body. In the other way, heat is a form of energy that flows between two bodies by virtue of their temperature difference. Heat is a form of energy. Heat is a form of energy that flows from a hot body to a cold body. Heat by itself, when two bodies are kept in contact, a hot body and a cold body, then heat flows from hot body to cold body until their temperatures will become equal. Generally, this heat is measured in terms of SI units is joules. It is measured in joules. And practically, we use practical unit, we use calorie. Calorie is practical unit of heat. Calorie is a little bit, calorie is a bigger unit than joule. Therefore, 1 calorie is equal to 4.186 joule. 4.186 joule. So, if you given heat in terms of calorie, while calculating problems, there is a need to convert that calories into joules. Now, the first basic law in thermodynamics is zeroth law of thermodynamics. Zeroth law of thermodynamics. According to zeroth law of thermodynamics, when two bodies are separately in thermal equilibrium with a third system, third body, then those two bodies are in thermal equilibrium with each other. If two systems, say two systems A and B are separately in thermal equilibrium with a third system C, then A and B are in thermal equilibrium with each other. In thermal equilibrium with each other. This is called as zeroth law of thermodynamics. If two systems A and B are separately in thermal equilibrium with the third system C, then A and B themselves are in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is called zeroth law of thermodynamics, and this was proposed by R.H. Fowler. This zeroth law of thermodynamics was proposed by R.H. Fowler. Now, let us explain the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Suppose let there are two systems. This is system A, system B, and another system C. These systems A and B are separated by insulated wall. Insulated wall. That means heat will not flow through the wall. There will be no exchange of heat between the systems A and B. There will be no exchange of heat between the systems A and B. But AC and BC, this wall is thermally conducting. The wall that separates A and B from C is thermally conducting. So, let two systems A and B are separated by thermally insulated walls. A and B are separated from C by thermally conducting wall. Thermally conducting wall. That means, so there will be exchange of heat. So there will be exchange of heat between A and C and B comma C. There will be exchange of heat between the systems A and C and also B and C. After some time, A is in equilibrium with C, B is also in thermal equilibrium with C. So after some time, A and B are in equilibrium with the C due to exchange of heat. A is in thermal equilibrium with C and B is also in thermal equilibrium with C. But we don't know about A and B. But A.H. Fowler, in his Hero's law of thermodynamics, tells that if A is in equilibrium with C and B is in equilibrium with C, then AB also in thermal equilibrium. Let us see. Now, let the wall is interchanged. That means A and B are separated by conducting wall and C is insulated wall. A and B are, this wall is replaced with this one. So there will be interchanging of walls. Then you find that A, B are also in thermal equilibrium. So if walls are interchanged, then it was found that A is in equilibrium with C, with B, and are at the same temperature. Because A and B are in thermal equilibrium, those both are at the same temperature. that it will give zeroth law of thermodynamics gives equilibrium state, thermal equilibrium state of two systems. When two systems are in thermal equilibrium, then those systems will be at the same temperature. Therefore, this will give the basic concept of temperature. If two bodies, these two systems, A and B are in thermal equilibrium, their common property is why they are in thermal equilibrium? Because they have same temperature. That common property that remains same for two systems when they are in thermal equilibrium is called temperature. Therefore, in this manner, R.H. Fowler defined the concept of temperature. Therefore, this law explains concept of temperature. What is meant by temperature? Temperature is the physical property that remains same for two bodies or two systems when they are in thermal equilibrium. Which means that if two systems are in thermal equilibrium, both will have same temperature. That property which remain common for both the systems is called as temperature. Because this law explains the concept of temperature and the name zeroth law of given instead of first, second or third law. Because it was discovered later after first and second laws of thermodynamics were stated. That's why we could be first and second law. Earlier to first and second we have zero. Therefore, this is more fundamental when compared to first law and second law of thermodynamics, and hence the name zero was given. Zeroth law of given. So, zeroth law of thermodynamics explain the concept of temperature. Let us define temperature. So, according to zeroth law of thermodynamics, when two systems are in thermal equilibrium, they will have same common property, and that property is called as temperature. Therefore, temperature is the physical property of two systems that remain same when they are in thermal equilibrium. That means which property remain the same when two systems are in thermal equilibrium? It is a temperature. Therefore, that physical property which remain constant, which remain common, which remain same for two systems when they are in thermal equilibrium is called temperature. Generally, this temperature is measured in terms of Kelvin. Temperature is measured in terms of Kelvin. Now, let us say about next concept of external work. under the first external work. When the resultant external force acting on the system causes displacement in it, then external work is said to be done on the system. So, whenever the external force acting on the system causes displacement, then external work is done on the system. Whenever external force acting on the system causes resultant displacement on any system, then the external work is done on the system. Now, let us derive an expression for it. Expression for external work. Suppose if you have certain mass of a gas enclosed in a cylinder fitted with a frictionless piston whose area of cross section is V. This is the frictionless piston. In which certain gas is enclosed at a pressure P and the area of cross section is A. If the gas pushes the piston slowly, initially let the volume be V1 and the piston is pushed to the new position, say V2, through a small distance dx. It has moved through a small distance dx so that the volume of the gas increased from V1 to V2. So here the gas exerts external force on the piston and it has displaced through a distance dx. Therefore, the work is done by the gas on the piston. That is called as external work. So, let certain gas is enclosed in a cylinder fitted with frictionless piston. Having area of cross section A. Let pressure of the gas is equal to P. Then the gas exerts a force F is equal to PA on the piston. Due to this force, let the piston has moved through a distance dx. Due to this force, let the piston is displaced a distance dx and volume of the gas increases from V1 to V2 through a small volume dV. V2 minus V1 is equal to V. So this is the force exerted on the piston. Therefore, work done, external work done, dW is equal to force into distance or displacement force is equal to P into A, displacement is equal to dx. dW is equal to P A into dx, but A into dx is equal to dV, that is called change in volume. Area of cross section into displacement will give the volume occupied by the gas. Therefore, dW is equal to P dV. This is the work done by the gas when it expands through a small volume dV. So, if the gas expands from volume, if the gas expands from volume V1 to V2, then total work done, total external work can be obtained by integrating this equation between the limits V1 to V2. That is equal to V1 to V2 dW, that is equal to V1 to V2 P dV. This is the expression for external work acting on the system. External work acting on the system. Now, this external work can not only calculated by mathematical means, it can also be calculated by using a graphical method, and that is called indicator diagram. That is called as indicator diagram. Therefore, let us see how the work can be calculated using indicator diagram. So, this is the mathematical derivation for external work. Indicator diagram. Indicator diagram is nothing but a graph which is plotted between the pressure and volume of gas at various stages of the thermodynamic system. A graph plotted by taking volume of the gas, changes in volume of the gas, changes in volume of the gas. Volume of the gas on x-axis and the corresponding pressure on y-axis is called indicator diagram. Indicator diagram or PV diagram. Simply PV diagram. A graph which is plotted between the volume of the gas and the pressure is called indicator diagram. So, we should take the volume of the gas on x-axis and the corresponding pressure on y-axis, then we get a curve, say like this. AB. At A, let the pressure of gas is equal to P1, volume P1, and at B, pressure is equal to P2 and the volume is equal to P2. It changes. At any instant, let the pressure is P and a small change in volume. This is the pressure P and a small change in the volume is equal to dV. Then area under this small region will use PD. Area, product of these two figures will use the PD. So, when graph is plotted between pressure and volume, and the volume we get a curve as shown in the figure. At any instant of pressure P, if volume changes by dV, then work done dW is equal to PdV. This is equal to area under shaded region. This region. Now, if we want to calculate the total work done when the gas changes from V1 to V2, the total work done is equal to area under PV diagram. Curve that is equal to integral V1 to V2 PD. This is the total work done. So, in this manner, by using an indicator diagram, we can calculate the external work done by the indicator diagram. So, what is the use of indicator diagram? Say, question will be like this. Explain what is indicator diagram, write its uses. Indicator diagram is a graph which is plotted between the pressure or volume of the gas by taking the volume on x-axis and the corresponding pressure on y-axis. When the graph is plotted, we obtain like this. Initially, let the system is at A, whose pressure is P1 and the volume is V1, and finally the system is at B and the final pressure is P2 and the volume is V2. The graph is shown in the figure. This is called as indicator diagram. At any instant of pressure, if the volume changes through a small amount of dV, then the work done is equal to PdV, that is equal to area under this shaded region. Now, if we want to calculate the total work done by the system, when it changes from A to B, then it can be obtained by calculating area under this curve PV diagram. This is equal to integral V1 to V2 PdV. So, what is the use of this indicator diagram? It is used for calculating work done by the system. It is used. What is the use of indicator diagram? Use of indicator diagram. Use. It is used to calculate work done by a system of gas. So, wherever gas undergo different changes between the pressure and volumes, in order to calculate the work done, just you calculate the area under PV diagram. Area under PV diagram.